Hey you all, welcome back to StabilityWOD. I hope you had a fantastic Memorial Day yesterday. I ran the Boulder, third largest road race in the country. I think it's the largest 10K race in the country here in our hometown, Boulder, Colorado. Incredible race, ran it with my kids in my favorite running hat. And for my viewer who asked where I got this hat last time, I apologize, I actually gave you the wrong answer. This is a Peter Grimm hat that I picked up in Grand Junction at Love's gas station, truck stop, rest stop, probably for $10, and it's become one of my favorite running hats. So apologies for the misinformation there. So anyway, a lot of you CrossFitters did Murph the other day. You're walking around now looking like this because you did so many push-ups, 200 push-ups, that now your shoulders are stuck here. You probably can't lift your hands, your arms much above here. You guys need to get on your foam roller every day for the next week and mobilize your shoulders and your pecs to reopen them up, or else they're gonna get stuck in this position. I posted a video yesterday on push-ups, and that was my segue into talking about Serratus Anterior, which is low trap's partner in getting the scapulas rotated up, as we've been learning, so that we can get our overhead position to be healthy enough that we don't have any excess strain in our shoulder, on our labrum, on our rotator cuff. One of the common signs and symptoms of Serratus Anterior weakness is what's called scapular winging, where if you're looking at the shoulder blades from the back, they wing away from the ribs along the inner border where my index finger is here. They actually come away from the ribs. Serratus Anterior's job, one of its jobs, is to hold the scapula against the ribs stable as it's rotating them upward. And with cervical issues, especially mid-cervical spine, degenerative changes, facet issues, nerve impingement, as well as thoracic outlet, upper rib dysfunction, which we've talked about in the past, these are all things that could potentially cause the Serratus Anterior to shut down because of the compression on the nerves, the nerve roots at the neck, and the brachial plexus as it's exiting the neck to travel down out into the arm. The nerve that powers Serratus Anterior gets compressed, muscle loses power, and you see this winging. Often you have to decompress the nerve, but this is a great starting point for helping to get that muscle back online doing its job again. So one of the most popular Serratus Anterior activators is push-ups, and I was struck by the form and the quality of the Marines that marched in formation into the CU Buff Stadium at the end of the Boulder, did 40, 50 push-ups in the stadium before they crossed the finish line. Beautiful push-ups, synchronized. It just struck me how nice their form was. So I want to show you this sort of basic activator for Serratus Anterior. Okay, so many of you are already familiar with the scapular push-up. This is basically just your standard push-up on your hands and knees, your hands and toes. All you're doing before you start your push-up is reaching to the ceiling. You do your push-up, and at the top, you reset. Instead of shorting the push-up, which looks like this, I'm just moving my elbows. I want to finish that push-up with full scapular protraction. That's where my shoulder blades separate. They come apart as far as possible before I start that next push-up. Now that takes a lot of Serratus Anterior control to be able to do that, and you might even find if you do just the scapular part of the push-up, which maybe you've done before, it gets very tiring, and you realize very quickly how important this muscle is at stabilizing your push-up, and how maybe weak it is compared to your tricep, which can be very strong with very little scapular control, and that causes problems for the shoulders every time. Here's the back view. Here's me relaxed. My shoulder blades are coming together. They're winging away from my spine. Here's me separating my shoulder blades. They've come apart. There's the relaxed position. There's the Serratus Anterior contracted position. I'm going to start from that position. I'm going to do my push-up, and then I'm going to reset every rep. Starting to get tired, you guys. This is a very hard exercise to do with push-ups or even to do on its own. This is a very important muscle group to keep online for your pressing variations, pushing straight ahead, pushing overhead. I generally recommend people do 3 sets to fatigue, which can happen pretty quickly. Again, we're talking 10 to 20 reps of a scapular push-up till the muscle starts to fail. Most importantly, you take this back into your gym and you integrate it into your pressing movements, especially your push-ups, burpees, those other variations. It makes such a huge difference in your shoulder health over time. Thank you guys for watching StabilityWOD. I appreciate you tuning in day after day. I'm somewhere in the 50s at this point, and I hope to keep going, sharing with you guys what I know, what I've learned over 18 years of clinical practice, working with athletes of all kinds. If you like what you saw, please click the like button below. Leave some comments for me. I always appreciate comments, including where I got the hat. As always, take a second to subscribe. Thanks again for tuning into StabilityWOD. Very grateful. See you tomorrow.